Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Welcome for today's continuous discussion on chapter 17, Bhagavad Gita, the Gita Gyan program, ongoing program. So today is Vaikunta Ekadasi, very, very auspicious day. On this day that we gathered, to discuss Bhagavad Gita is super auspicious, all right? So on this auspicious day, so it's also mentioned that whoever speak Bhagavad Gita or listen to Bhagavad Gita on this day, it is carries so much of benefit. And today we are so fortunate that our chapter 17 falls on Ekadasi day. And this is not an ordinary Ekadasi, also known as Putrada Ekadasi and also Vaikunta Ekadasi, very auspicious. All right. So on this day, so we start. So as usual, before we start our program, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragrama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachiristharine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Raitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virda Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sampode Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Vir Bhava Bhumestom Nitasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Garadase Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki Hare Krishna Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Hare Krishna, welcome. So today we're going to continue our discussion on chapter 17, the division of faith. But before that, just a short recap of divine and demonic nature. So yesterday evening, we discussed about what is that divine and the demonic nature. And of course, since we are in Kali Yuga, every human being, they have the divinity and the demoniac tendency in every individual, all right? It is like inbuilt. So we have that opportunity to unveil our power within us, the power of divinity within us. At the same time, by default, that thing that controls us, that means by default, that means the creation, all the human beings are some or other in demoniac nature. In Kali Yuga, everyone by default, they have the prominence, the character, the prominence character is demoniac in nature. All right. That's why they see that they can easily quarrel, they can easily get agitated, they easily get depressed. And the most important part, they are always attached. All these things are by default. So therefore, that's why Bhagavad Gita is very important, very vital, because in Bhagavad Gita, we understand how to unleash the divinity within us. So that's what Krishna gave us a lot of this thing, and he did a comparison studies, all right? He did a comparison studies. So what are the demoniac nature? Always pride, arrogance, deceit, right? So all this and all the other characters, this is called demoniac nature. And of course, we also studied about the three gates that leads us to hell. The three gates to hell, it is lust, anger, and lobha, what they call greed. Lust, anger, and greed, the three things that actually leads one person, it's into what they call they are sure to go to hellish region. So also we understood what is the hellish region. All right. First of all, of course, there's a place where there's a fire, Naraka, who controls by Yamaraj. But but that's not so scary compared to be born in an abominable species. All right. Be born as a snake, as an alligator, as a fish, or any form of animal. As long as a person is born into a form of animal, you see, the animals are not always peace. They always like look left, look right, look up, look down. They eat. Then after they look right, look left. They are always worried who's going to attack them. Okay, they always become the prey. All right. So it is not only the animal eats animal, but now in Kali Yuga, it became even worse. The humans start to eat animals, right? And of course, you see, like especially in China, they basically eat everything. All right. So somebody shared a video to me. It's very gross. They were even eating tortoise. They even eat tortoise. They even eat what they call dogs. They show. The way they kill the dogs is terrible. The dogs and the pigs, the way they kill it is terrible. They'll keep the dog alive and they start to burn them. And of course, the pig, they take the pig and throw them into the boiling water. They take the whole pig and throw them into the boiling water. And I don't know what is that idea about that. But of course, it is also, I remember reading somewhere in Prabhupada's purport, it says that is what is even happening even those days. I think that's the method of killing the pig. Not killing them by slaughtering them, but throwing them or throw hot water on them. And of course, there's one video that I saw in India, in one of the remote part of India. There was a big bonfire. There's a big, huge bonfire. They took the live goat and threw into the fire. And after some struggle, the goat somehow or other came out and struggling and all the things. So it's crazy. People are becoming, human beings are becoming this thing because we think it's crazy, we think it's abominable, but that is by default. That is by default that every human being are given by demoniac nature. But of course, in this Kali Yuga, the advantage is, even though that we are all under the spell of Kali Yuga, in this material nature, and of course, the tendency of demoniac is very prominent, but still we have that opportunity that we can achieve the highest perfection. All right. So that's why reference to Bhagavad Gita is very important. And that reference also must come through the Parampara system. It is not like any other Bhagavad Gita that you can buy outside and read it. Okay, there's so many editions of Bhagavad Gita, but this particular Bhagavad Gita is the most unique, right? Most unique Bhagavad Gita, because it gives the recommendations by the Parampara system. I've been trying to, yesterday I started reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So when I was reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, I was so surprised. All the things that I say is actually in Bhagavad Gita's Prabhupada's purport. So Prabhupada actually took Bhagavatam, took all the Vedas and Shastras and gave in a purport of Bhagavad Gita. That means just by Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavad Gita and scrutinizingly study the purport, a person can come into a proper standing. All right. So with that meditation, let's start today's program. Today, okay. So ISKCON Malaysia, in collaboration with ISKCON Ipoh Bhakti Yoga Center, proudly presents Gita Gyan, chapter 17. So let's take darshan from Sri Sri Nitai Gauranga Rai. I think this is the deities from KL Center. Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patakami Bhavatu Me. Okay, so today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Okay, let's talk about Srila Prabhupada, a quick one. All right, Srila Prabhupada was born in around 1st September 1896 in Calcutta. Now they call it Kolkata, right? Calcutta. So there he was born into a family of a merchant, right? A very rich family, Bulik family. So when he was young, he started to show his tendency of being a pure devotee. You know, when he was around 3-4 years old, he organized a Radha Yatra festival in the neighborhood. He told the parents to make a small cart and a small deity of Krishna, and they told all the neighbors to prepare some prasadam. And he went and did the Radha Yatra festival and at the same time they distributed the prasadam. That eventually one day, after 60 years, 70 years, he established the chariot festival all over the world in every town and village. Right? So in 1922, he met his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. And immediately at the first meeting itself, the spiritual master told him, why not you go, since you are an intelligent young man, educated young man, why not you take this the message of Lord Chaitanya to the Western world? Then after that, after some time, then he retired from his family life. He tried to establish, okay, because after that, India was independent. After the independence, he tried to go and meet people to talk to them. But it looks like people are really not interested, all right? Because they are just after independent, right? After independent, they just became too materialistic. They're not interested to go back to the root of Vedic culture, all right? They just want to move forward. Then after that, he printed Bhagavatam. He translated Bhagavatam into English. And after that, he printed Srimad Bhagavatam. Then after that, he started to approach all the people, but people seems to be not to be interested. The Indians were not interested. Then after that, his spiritual master came to his dream and told him, now you're ready, let's go to America. All right. So once you go to America, so he went and asked this lady called Sumati Morarji, begged her for ticket, but the Sumati Morarji was telling, you are old man, no point you're going to the West because you're going to die there. All right. No point you go to the West. No point you go to the West because you're old man. You may die there. You know, you just better sit here. But Prabhupada was so adamant. He said, no, give me a ticket. Give me a ticket. Somehow or other, very reluctantly, Sumati Morarji gave a return ticket to him to go to what they call America. So that's a ship that he traveled. And the ship name is Jala Dutta. So after he traveled to America, then after that, he had so much of struggle. You know, he went to arrive in Boston Commonwealth Pier. Then he tried to go around. He went there. He doesn't know to turn left, turn right, or go forward. Right. So he just that's when he made his very famous poem. You know, his prayer, a heartfelt prayer to Krishna. He said, I'm not sure why you have sent me here. I don't know what is your mission, but whatever it is, you know, please, I just follow as you wish. You ask me to dance, I will dance. You ask me to do this, sing, I sing. I am just a puppet in your hand, right? Then in India, before that, then they said, oh, Swamiji, I heard you're going to India, going to America. He said, no, I'm not going to go to America. The Srimad Bhagavatam is going to America and I am just assisting. I'm just a personal servant to the Bhagavatam. I'm bringing it over, all right? So after so much of struggle, you know, he stayed in Agarwal family. And after that, he moved to this yoga studio. Then after that, he moved on. Then suddenly, then after some time, some big struggle, he met some committed boys and girls. Boys, then they came forward and they said they gave him a place to stay. And after that, he slowly started his mission. So the place that he went and took, okay, it was a former shop lot. And when he went there, he was so surprised to see the name of the shop lot was Matchless Gift. And he says, yes, what I'm giving is Matchless Gift. Then he did his first Harinam Sankirtan, first time outside India in Thompson Park Square in 1966, all right, 67. So he went and did the first Thompson Park Square. Then he just went there, he just simply sing Hare Krishna and he attracted so many hippies. All the hippies and all the onlookers, especially the young people came, they got so attracted to him. And they were so attracted. Then he said, I give you a drug because all of them were drug addicts. He said, I give you a drug where you can stay high forever. There's no hangover because people suffer from hangover. He said, I give you one drug. You can stay high forever. And everybody came. He said, what drug is that? chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. After they took the drug, the Hare Krishna drug, and they became so ecstatic, and they became, the purification program started. So all the boys, his disciples, start to organize a big concert. This concert, the hippie concert. All right, you see the Grateful Dead, the Jeffersons, and all these, like all the crazy, what they call, hippies were there, standing there. I mean, they came for that concert. So since it's organized by this, this guy called Allen Ginsberg, you can see the guy here, the bearded guy, Allen Ginsberg. He's a hippie poet. All right, he's a very famous among the hippies. So he organized this. So before they go there, before they can start any of the concert, Prabhupada went in and started the concert. So they start to chant Hare Krishna, and everybody was dancing in ecstasy. Even that place was so polluted with cigarettes and all these weeds, the smoke and everything filled. But he went there and chanted. And after that started, and many people start to follow him. Then after that, he sent some of his devotees, Shyama Sundara and Malati Devi, to England. They were just brand new devotees, but he just said, go to England and start preaching. That's the power of this Mahabhagavat. This Mahabhagavat, these boys who just brand new, who doesn't know hate and tail about bhakti, but they just simply blindly followed Srila Prabhupada. And they went to England and start preaching effort. So after some struggle there, that eventually they met this guy from the Beatles, George Harrison. All right. So George Harrison, and then after that, from there, then they met this John Lennon, this what they call, there's another two guys, right? So then after that, George Harrison says, why not you come to my, what they call, studio and start to record your song. That's when the song Govindam Adi Purusham, the famous song, was composed by Malati Devi, and that song became a standard morning prayer in ISKCON worldwide. When Prabhupada heard that, he was so ecstatic. He said, every center have to play this song till today. Till today, the songs are played. And of course, the what they call the record became, they broke that UK top 10, and it was at the top 10 for what 20-30 weeks, something like that. All right. Then the record, the Radha Krishna temple, the record, it start to spread like wildfire in England. Through that, the Hare Krishna start to land in England. Then from there, then all the more disciples came. Then he attempted to go to Moscow. They were going to Russia, was the biggest miracle. He went to Moscow with the invitation of Professor Stavosky, right? This is an atheist professor, because it's under the communist country, everyone is atheist. So he went there for 3 or 4 days by invitation. So he went with his servant Shyama Sundara, who is American. Then they were all watched because they are not allowed to do this thing, right? So while waiting to meet that professor and all this, some or other one young boy came and approached Shyama Sundara, and he says, what are you doing? Are you talking about Bhakti Yoga? Do you have the Beatle recording or something like that? Then eventually he brought that boy to meet Prabhupada. And when he met Prabhupada, Prabhupada was there, spent 2 days with him, all right, giving all the knowledge that he was supposed to have, and blessed him, at the same time initiated him. Can you imagine a guy who from nowhere came, spoke to him for 2 days, and he initiated him. Before he left, Shyama Sundara asked, do you think that he can do what he's supposed to do? Then Prabhupada says, everything depends on Krishna. All right. But that young man, I forgot his name, he established the ISKCON in Russia. He was so daring. He created some devotees. They take one Bhagavad Gita, and all the Bhagavad Gita that they referred was handwritten. All right. They just take the original Bhagavad Gita and they take turns. All right. First, this person take it. So they'll write it down in their notebook, chapter 1. Like that, they pass through all the chapter 1 done. Then after that, they take and write chapter 2. All handwritten Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Translated into Russian, handwritten. So by doing that, eventually they were caught, especially this devotee was caught, and they were under that KGB, and they were severely punished until they came to the level, they said, eat beef or you die. So they rather choose to die than eating beef. And they take some tissues, and they roll the tissues and make it into a japamala and start to chant. So eventually, after that, the whole world protested to release that the ISKCON devotees from Russia. Then after that, Gorbachev came, and of course, the whole entire communist bloc collapsed. Prabhupada predicted in 10 years down the road, or 10 or 20 years, this Russia will collapse. The communists will collapse here. As the predicted exactly, the communist bloc collapsed. And now the Hare Krishna community in Russia is the highest community in outside India. When you talk about Western devotees, they are the Hare Krishna community highest. And according to this one Maharaj who are in charge of this GBC Russia, he said every Sunday program they have minimum 1,000 people. Can you imagine? Every Sunday program, Sunday feast program, they have 1,000 people attending. When it comes to this kind of festival like Janmashtami, so they have almost 10-20,000 people. And they have a congregation member of more than 1,000 people. Such a huge community. And this community have migrated also to Calcutta. And in Calcutta today, in Mayapur, there is a place called the Russian village, the village of entire Russian devotees. So that was a bigger success. And after that, he met so many professors, so many people, and they start recognizing him. And he has started this book, Back to Godhead, which he first written in 1946, and of course, revived back by his disciple. And the book became the bestseller magazine. And of course, Prabhupada have translated so many books. And it looks like you don't have a lifetime to study the entire book, right? But he have compiled all the books and he gave a purport. And through this purport, just by this, a person can achieve the highest success in Bhakti. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Let's look at today's Gita Mahatmya. Ya Shrunoti cha Gitartam Kirtayateva ya Param Sravayek cha Parartam vai sa prayati param padam. One who attentively hear and sings the glories of the purport of the Gita. All right. One who attentively hear at the same time sing the glories, or by preaching to others the purport of the Gita, or reiterates the purport to others. That means he's going and talking to people. That means you just get a small suddenly you read Bhagavad Gita, what you inspire, you just make into a status, you post in the Facebook, post in the this thing, you know. So reiterates the purport to others. So what Krishna says here, such a person attains to the supreme destination. Okay. That means by attentively hearing and singing and also sharing the Bhagavad Gita to others, that person attains the supreme destination, the destination of going back home, back to God. That is how powerful is Bhagavad Gita. So let's look at understanding the Gita. So Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. Okay, we must understand that. Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. We have no time for research. Okay. All right, it's not a question of research. Our research work is imperfect. Okay, we must understand our research work is imperfect because we are researching things with our imperfect senses. Our senses are imperfect, right? We have to accept perfect knowledge. We have to accept perfect knowledge, which comes down, as is stated in Bhagavad Gita, by the parambara or the disciplic succession. Okay, it has to come down through the parambara system. We have to receive knowledge. So we have to receive knowledge from proper source of the disciplic succession, beginning with the Supreme Personality, beginning with the Supreme Spiritual Master, who is Lord Krishna himself, right? And handed down through the succession of spiritual masters. Okay, when we look at our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, all right, first we call our Brahma. Okay, it comes from Lord Brahma, and the Acharya is Madhvacharya, and it is start to spread from Bengal and that area. So that's why we call Gauda. So that's why it's called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Parambara. Right? So where did Lord Brahma got that inspiration? Where he got that inspiration from? From Krishna. Right? When through the flute of Krishna, when he start to flute, when he play the flute, the sound vibration entered his heart. All right. He called this as Sabda Pramana. Sabda means sound. Pramana means understanding through the sound. So Krishna installed that. That's why we have our supreme spiritual master is Lord himself. And from there, he ended up through the succession from Brahma. Then Brahma's disciple was Narada. Narada's disciple was Vyasadev. And Vyasa's disciple was Madhvacharya. And Jayatirtha, Jnana Sindhu. Like that, it comes down until Jagannath Das Baba, until Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya had his, then he come down until Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and our Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and after that, through his disciples, all right? Through his disciple, like for instance, my spiritual master is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, and he initiated me. Like that, it comes under the Parambara system. So we have to accept these under Parambara system, because under the Parambara system, we have no intention. We don't have any specific intention or selfish motive. Our only intention is to simply present the Bhagavad Gita as it is, as how it was spoken originally, without any fear, favor, or any what they call shortcuts, right? So Arjuna was a student who took the lesson from the Lord Krishna, accepts everything that he says without contradicting him. One is not allowed to accept one portion of Bhagavad Gita and not others. We must always remember that. Oh, I think I like this portion of Bhagavad Gita and I don't agree to that portion of Bhagavad Gita. It's not allowed. We shouldn't do that, right? No, we must accept Bhagavad Gita without interpretation, without deletion, all right? And at the same time, without our own whimsical participation or in that matter. So the Gita should be taken as the most, Gita has to be taken how? To be taken as the most perfect presentation of the Vedic knowledge. So it's the most perfect presentation of the Vedic knowledge. So Vedic knowledge is received from transcendental source. Okay. The Vedic knowledge is received from the transcendental source. And the first word was spoken by the Lord himself. The words spoken by the Lord are called Aparusheya. Okay, the word that's spoken by the Lord is called Aparusheya. That means they are different from the word spoken by the person in the mundane world. All right. So Aparusheya means, that means this is different from the word spoken by person in the mundane world. That means the person that who speaks is different. Why? Because the mundaners or the mundane people, they are infected with 4 defects. We have the 4 defects. So what a mundaner, the first defect is what? The person is sure to make mistake. No matter what, we try to be perfect, but we always commit mistake. Number 2 is invariably illusion. We are illusion in so many ways. Sometimes when we under the hot sun, when we look at the road, it looks like there's a water, mirage. Right? They call it mirage. Sometimes when you go to the desert, you see there's a water there. So that means we are illusion. All right, our senses are illusion. And number 3 is what? The tendency to cheat others. Okay, no matter what, sometimes we have the tendency to cheat others. All right. And number 4, limited by imperfect senses. We are so much limited. Like today, in front of my house, there's a mountain. All right. I'm living near the hills. So what I did, I was just chanting. Then I just thought, okay, I just want to rest my eyes. I want to see far away. Because the mountain is not so far, right? How should I say? Around a kilometer away. So just a huge mountain, a kilometer is considered very near. And I just went there. I tried to look at it. I can't even see it because the sun was shining so bright. The sun is rising at this side, but I'm looking at the mountain at that side. But I was just going there. I can't even open my eyes and stare at the beautiful trees on the mountain. I can't even look at this, the details in that mountain, because in mountains only you can see the trees. It's beautiful actually, but I can't even see it because it's so glaring, right? So that's the thing. So our senses are so imperfect. How can we create? How can we identify? How can we see perfect things? We are not, right? So with these 4 imperfection, one cannot deliver perfect information of all pervading knowledge. So with these imperfect senses, person cannot give the perfect conclusion of this perfect knowledge. Okay. So with that, let's start our chapter 17. The chapter 17 we call the division of faith, right? The previous chapter we studied about the divine and the demonic nature. And now let's look at the divisions. How many divisions are there in this faith? All right, the divisions of faith. All right, let's look at verse 1. Arjuna vacha ye shastra vidding uttirshya yajante shraddhayan vitaha teshang nishtatu ka Krishna sattvang aho rajastama. So now Arjuna asking a fantastic question. What he said? Oh Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principle of the scripture? All right. That means, right? That means the word utsrijya. Utsrijya means they're giving up. All right. What is the situation of those who do not follow the principle of the scripture? Okay, they don't follow the rules of the scripture, but worship according to their own imagination. It's quite common right nowadays. People are simply creating deities, small temples by the roadside, and they all start to pray according to their own imagination. Okay, so now the question he asked, are they in goodness, passion, or ignorance? Or is it sattvam, rajas, or tamaha, tamaguna? So he asked that question. So therefore, Krishna answered him in 17.2, and he says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Trivida Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sasvabhavacha Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tat Tang Shrinu. So Sri Bhagavan said, Sri Bhagavan Vacha means Sri Bhagavan said that Trivida. Three means three. Vidya. Vidya means Vittegal. Trivida. That means Vidya means three kinds. And Bhavati. Bhavati means become Shraddha, faith. So three kinds of thing that turns into faith. Okay. Dehinam, of the embodied, and Swabhavaja. Swabhavaja means according to his mode of material nature. Swabhava. Swabhava means according to his bhava. That means his mode, all right, of nature. So Satviki. Satviki means sattva. Satvik means goodness. Rajasi means passion. Tamasi means ignorance. All right. So Chetti. So cha iti. Okay. Tam. That hear from me. And say tam shrinu. So now hear from me. So now Krishna says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature. What? According to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds: in goodness, passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this. All right. So when we look at these things, so now, so what Krishna says, according to the modes of nature. And how the mode of nature? Is it by default? No, it is acquired. Acquired by the embodied soul. One's faith can be of three kinds. Okay, how we can understand that? Okay, I'll give you an example. When we are in temple in Malaysia, some or other we follow certain rules and regulations. All right. So what we do, we need to wash our leg, okay, before we enter the temple. If the same thing in India, of course, in India, the Kerala, they are still practicing that. So if same thing in India, what they need to do, they need to go and take a dip in the pond. All right. They have to bath, they have to take a dip in the pond, and after that, they enter the temple. Okay. But when it comes to Malaysia, what happened? The same thing, you just need to require just to wash your leg and sprinkle some water on your head. That's it. But the same thing when you go to America, okay, go to America, when the country is cold and everything, you can't even wash your leg. So what do? You can even enter the temple with your socks. Okay. And when you look at in India, you can't even go near the deities. Okay. In Malaysia, some or other, you can go nearer a bit to the deities. But in America, because my wife, when she went to US, she went to this, in Pittsburgh, there's a Venkatachalapati temple, right? She went so near to the deity. That means just around 2 feet away from the deity. You know, they just went so near to the deity. And the pujari, who is supposed to be in great acharam or great this thing, but he was so, he just, what they call, he was so versatile. He came, he prayed and everything, and she is allowed to throw the flower directly to the lotus feet of Lord Venkatachalapati. So like that. So that means all according to the nature, okay, according to the environment. And this kind of environment, it is not something that you born with it. It's acquired. That's why we call pradana, right? So the unmanifested form. Remember, we studied that. Okay, the senses, the five working senses, the five knowledge acquiring senses, and the body is made of 5 element Mahabhuta. And of course, the subtle form, there's 3, mind, intelligence, ego, total is 23, plus 1, pradana, 24. Total is 24. Pradana means what? Pradana means unmanifested. Unmanifested means you get it according to the time, place, and circumstances. All right. So that's why he says, according to the modes of nature, acquired. Acquired. All right. It is not given to you by default, it is acquiring. So now if you have taken up the bhakti, you are acquiring the mode of beyond this goodness, the transcendental nature. All right. So that means, and so it's like that. So you just acquiring this. It is not something that come as default. Then 17.4. Yajante Satvika Devan Yaksha Rakshangshi Rajasa Pretan Bhuya Ganang Chanye Yajanti Tamasa Jana. So men, those Yajanti Satvika Devan. Yajanti means worship. Satvika means mode of goodness. Devan. Devan means demigods, Devargal. So Yaksha Rakshamsi Rajasa. So that means, but those who are in Rajasa, Rajasa means it's in the mode of passion. So who they worship? Yaksha Rakshamsi. So Yaksha and Rakshasa. So they worship the demon and the demoniac nature. All right. So they are in the passion. Then Pritan. Pritan means what? Spirit. Spirit of the date. A spirit of the date. All right. Pritan. That means the forefathers. Spirit of the date means forefathers. Bhuta. Bhut. Bhut means what? Bhuta means ghost. Then Gana. Okay. Bhuta Gana. Bhuta Gana means the ghost and the spirit. All right. The evil things. Chanye. They worship that. So these are the people. Yajante. Yajante means worship. They are in Tamasa Jana. So Tamasa. Tamasa means these are the people in ignorance. Janaha means Janangal. In Tamil we call Janangal, right? Janam. Inga the Janangala Kano Janam. Janam means people, right? So now let's look at the translation. So what Krishna says here, man in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. So the person who are in the mode of goodness, they go and worship the devas. Okay, like devas like Lord Ganapati, Lord Kartikeya, Shiva. They are the one that worship the devas. They are basically in the mode of goodness. All right. And those in the mode of passion, okay, they worship the demons. All right. They like to pray to that, like the nine emperor god and all this kind of, all with the demoniac nature. All right. They're all Rakshasa, demoniac nature. We can see. All right. So these are the people in the mode of passion. They worship the demons. All right. And those in the mode of ignorance, they are the one who worship the ghosts and the spirits, like the Bomo, right? Like all these evil spirits and all this. They are worship because they do this tantric. They do the tantric worship. All right. Or the ghastly and gory form. All right. Now the question is, what is so conducive? So the men in mode of goodness worship the devas or demigods. See, all of us, I have seen basically, the mode of goodness is conducive to take up bhakti. Bhakti is beyond this three mode of material nature. So in order for you to come to the level of bhakti, all right, there's few possibilities are there. All right, the one possibility is by the mercy of a devotee. Okay, there's a second possibility is when Krishna himself come and appear in front of you and give you bhakti. And third is by the blessings of the devas or the demigods. All right. The first thing is, the second thing is not possible. Krishna will never appear in front of us, right? Like it happens to Dhruva, it happened to Bali Maharaj. When Krishna, Vishnu appeared in the form of, the small dwarf boy. What is his name? What is a small dwarf? Vamanadev, all right? Then after that, he expanded himself as Trivikram, right? Then after that, then Vishnu appeared in front of, what they call? Dhruva Maharaj, right? He appeared in front of Dhruva. So that is quite rare. But the thing is, the very common thing that we can get bhakti is through the mercy of devotees. Devotees are the ocean of mercy. Somehow or other, everyone becomes a devotee because somebody gave Bhagavad Gita to someone. All right. But in another account is by the mercy of the devas. So when the person has so much of mercy, all right, by the mercy of the devas, a person even can get bhakti. All right. For instance, like my own self, all right, my own personal experience. I've been a very ardent devotee of Lord, what they call Lord Kartikeya, Murugan, and I feel he's the one, because whenever I pray to him, I said, please show me truth, show me the truth. So somehow or other, he guided me. And I've seen some people who are so ardent, great devotee of Lord Shiva. And when Shiva blesses you, like what? There's two things that the devas will bless you. The first blessing is material blessing. So that blessing is actually a curse. But the second blessing is when they show you the path. They show you the path of Krishna, the bhakti. That is very rare occur, okay? That's the thing. So when the devas blesses, so I've seen so many people who have become a devotee. They are formerly a great devotee of the devas. So they are naturally in the mode of goodness. So when the person in the mode of goodness, they naturally can take up into the level of bhakti. But the people who are mode of passion, it is quite hard because they worship the demons, right? Sometimes when you go to the Chinese temple, you see that the way they look, the demoniac forms. And also, when you see in the like Muniswaran, this kind of the lower devatas, right? And also the another thing is ignorance. I mean, these are the people who worship ghosts and spirit, the forefathers. So these are the people not conducive to upgrade themselves into the level of devotional service. All right. Then in 8 to 10, Krishna speaks about food. So what is that food in goodness, passion, and ignorance? So the food in goodness, it is characteristic is juicy, wholesome, fatty, pleasing to heart. All right. Fatty means with ghee and everything. You eat, it is so pleasing to the heart. Of course, today is Ekadasi. We are not going to go into that. Okay, what is the effect of this food in goodness? It increases duration of life. All right. It purify, strengthen, it's very healthy, and the most important, it's very satisfying. Okay. And those in the mode of passion, what they eat the food which is too bitter, all right, extremely bitter, sour, pungent. All right, pungent means like durian, patai. All these are pungent food. All right. So these are the pungent, and also they love to take a lot of salt. They love to take hot, dry, and also burning. So what is the effect? The effect is distress, misery, and of course disease. And the mode of ignorance. What is the mode of ignorance? These are the people who will eat the food which is tasteless, decompose. That means the thing is dead and decomposing like the meat. Putrid, food consisting of remnants of untouchable things. So what is the effect? Sleep, laziness, and merciless. Then after that, Krishna continues in from 11 to 13. He speaks about sacrifice. What are the sacrifice that is performed? So the sacrifice in mode of goodness is perform according to the scripture. Okay, they follow the scripture rules and regulation, they do it. And do it as a matter of duty. Okay, I made some money and I'm using my money to take up this Bhagavad Gita to distribute. All right, because that's my duty. Or do this fire sacrifice. Okay, I call a Brahmana to my house and I perform a fire sacrifice. So how? By doing that, I'm going to call a group of devotees to come and sing kirtan. I'm going to provide prasadam. I'm going to invite all my family members, friends, and relatives. All of them will come. They attend this thing and everyone get blessing because this is the matter of duty. See, I am making money and I have to give back charity to the humanity. So it's done matter of duty. And these are the people desire no reward. They don't expect any reward. Oh, I'm doing this because I'm going to get that benefit. They don't care about that, right? And the people in mode of passion, what they do? Perform for some material benefit. They do for some material benefit. Okay, I'm doing this. All right, so now I'm going to, I want to get one contract, one tender, or I want to get into some kind of benefit, I want to like disease, or I want to achieve some success. I want to go to heaven, whatever. They perform with some material benefit, all right? Sometimes they say you do this Agni Hotra. Agni Hotra, you're going to get benefit. You're going to, the Mahalakshmi will come and stay in your house. Kuberan will make sure that he come and live with you. So they think, wow, Kuberan stays with me, my God. And Mahalakshmi stay, she comes with not only Mahalakshmi doesn't come alone, she comes with Dhanya Lakshmi, she comes with Gaja Lakshmi, then she comes with Dana Lakshmi. All varieties of auspicious Lakshmis will come and stay with me. Wow. All right. So these are the things. So this is the mentality of Ravana. See, Ravana doesn't want Ram. He wants Sita. So similarly, people, they don't want Vishnu, but they want Lakshmi, right? So this is all performed for material benefit. And at the same time, they also perform for the sake of pride. Want to show off, right? Especially sometimes we see in the temple, Kumbha Abhishekam, the 40 days Mandala Abhishekam. So the some people will take it and they put the name there. Oh, this is sponsored by this so-and-so family. And on that day, they make sure they give a big feast and they do a fantastic yagya, prayer and everything, just for the sake of pride. Show off, right? And what is that sacrifice in ignorance? Sacrifice ignorance is perform without regard of scripture. Simply do. No distribution of prasadam. I mean, they come, they do sacrifice, and that's it. They just go off. No chanting of Vedic hymns. Okay, there's no chanting of the Vedic hymns. Without faith, do without faith, and no remuneration to the priest. I mean, there's no dakshana to the priest. See, dakshana is very, very important. We have to give dakshana to our guru, the one or what they call the preceptor, that whoever that inspires you, the one who teaches you, the remuneration, or we call dakshana, is very important. All right. It is not the thing because the dakshana, the dakshana means it's the form of gratitude. All right. We are so grateful, gratitude that I'm learning something, or that person has provided something. The person has come and did prayer for me. They do the fire sacrifice, yagya, and everything. It's a gratitude, right? So dakshina. So the thing in ignorance is they don't give this kind of dakshina. So this is the example. So when we look here, there's a 3 types of fire. The first fire is fire sacrifice, where Lord Vishnu satisfies. The second fire sacrifice is happened in Srimad Bhagavatam, the story, when Parikshit Maharaj was died because of snake bite, the son, Janamejaya, he will call all the snakes and throw them to kill all the snakes, all right? The intention to kill all that venomous snake, it is fire sacrifice. And the third one in ignorance, the same fire, but this is on terrorism. They simply take all the bike and start to put them in fire. So there's the 3 types of things, okay? Now, let's talk about austerity of the body, all right? Austerity of the body. So the austerity of the body is Deva, Divija, Guru, Pranya, Pujanam, Shaucham, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam, Ahimsacha, Shariram, Tapa, Uchyate. So, when we look at this, Deva, Divija. So, Deva means Divija. That means Deva, Divija. That means the Supreme Lord. Divija, Guru. All right, Divija. Word Divi means two. All right, two. So Divija also we call as the twice born. Is my internet okay? Can you all hear me? Suddenly I see.
Yes, can Prabhu.
Okay. No, suddenly I see internet unstable. All right. So Divija means Brahmana. Brahmana means what? Divija. That means twice born. First we born through our parents. Then after that we accept our guru, and the guru give us initiation and give us the Brahmanical this thing. Give you the threat. It's called you born again. That's why I call Divija. Divija means twice born. First through our parents, second through our guru. So they call Deva means guru, Divija means Brahmana. Guru means, of course, the spiritual master. Pranya, Prajna. Prajna means worshipable personality, and all varieties of worshipable personalities. Then Pujanam. Pujanam is also, we know, Pujanam is worship, right? Pujai, right? Shaucham. Shaucham, all right? We understand Shaucham is also called cleanliness. So yesterday we studied that. Shaucham means impurity. Shaucham means clean. So Shaucham means cleanliness. Arjavam. Arjavam means what? Simplicity. All right? Simplicity. Then Brahmacharyam. Brahmacharyam, I think everybody knows. Brahmacharya means we are celibate. Okay? Celibate. What does it celibate means? Brahmachari, right? Celibacy. Okay. Ahimsa. Ahimsa, everybody know, because especially Indians, they know because of Gandhi movement, Ahimsa, non-violence, right? Then Shariram. Shariram means we call our body Shariram, and the Sharirata par, Shariram. So the body got few ways of telling. First is Dehi. Okay, Dehi. Dehi means body. And second is also called Shariram. Shariram is also body, right? That means pertaining to the body. Then Tapaha. Tapaha means what? What they call austerity. Davam. Tapaha means davam. So Tapaha is austerity, and Uchyate, it's said to be. Now what we're going to understand here, 1714, is austerity of the body. So what Krishna says here, number one, austerity of the body. That means austerity of the body means, that means we have our body, which is made of all these 5 elements, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 senses, and 3 subtle things that mind, intelligence, it is called consists of the body. So how we should practice, that Krishna is explaining here, how are you going to practice your body? How are you going to utilize your body in serving the Lord? The austerity, what are the limitations that you should put? Because the body can be unlimited, that means it can be either divine or demoniac. So what is that austerity? How you can put, austerity means limitation. Limitation by force. That means you're just forcing yourself not to do that. So what is the austerity of the body? Krishna says here, consists of, number one, worship of the Supreme Lord. Right? First, we have to worship, because we need to have this body to worship the Lord, right or not? We cannot worship in subtle form. So we worship. How we worship the Lord? Through our eyes, through our nose, through our mouth, through our ears, through our hand, through our leg. So we utilizing the entire body in worshiping the Lord. Right? That's number one. I hope you understand. Second is the Brahmanas. Worship the Brahmanas. So the Brahmanas means what? It is not the caste Brahmanas we are talking about. We are not talking about some bogus Brahmanas, right? Who born in Brahmanical family and try to create divisions. These brahmanas means which has been initiated after a qualification. After the person go through a very stringent qualification, he come to the level when the spiritual master sees that yes, you are qualified, and he gives the brahmana initiation along with the thread. You know, they put the thread and along with Gayatri mantra. This Gayatri mantra is not the Gayatri mantra that we all hear outside. Om, Bur, Bhuvat, Svat, that's, not that. That's the first one. But of course, there's so many secret mantras are there given. Only so it's a secret mantras given to Brahmanas. It is not spoken outside. And so that Brahmanas are given. So worshipping of the Brahmana is very important because you know why? They have perfected their austerity. That means first they might have born into certain kind of family. Then after that, they control themselves, control their senses, they control that, and they start to, and they perfected it. So sometimes when we say, sometimes when we go and, especially a businessman, all right, a younger businessman will go and take blessing from the bigger businessman. Yeah, I'm saying from my own experience. Sometimes I see some of my cousins who are very, very successful. We used to go and take blessing from them. All right, dear cousin, please bless me so I can be a millionaire. Oh, I bless you. Similarly, a student will go and touch the feet of a guru, a teacher. Dear teacher, I am submitting myself. I hope. So that means when you are inferior, you have to take blessing from the superior person in any job you do, right? Any job you do. Sometimes you see that, he's my guru. Even a road sweeper that day was telling, I've been inspired by this person. He's my guru. Even the road sweeper also inspired by someone. He has a mentor, right? Mentee and mentor. So that means for us, for human being, Brahmanas means the one who have perfected their process of bhakti. They are already perfecting the process of bhakti. So to worship them, it's important. And number 3 is spiritual master. Why spiritual master? When spiritual master is initiating you, that means he has taken all your karma, your sanchari karma, which is not possible to be destroyed, all nullified. Right? Then the only thing that we are suffering, that means we can say, since I've taken initiation, I shouldn't be suffering. But why am I suffering? So the suffering is from prarabdha karma and there's another karma. I keep forgetting the name. The day Kesavan was telling. There's another type of karma, all right, which is now the current suffering. So the prarabdha karma is already, see, when you born in this world, your script is already written. All right. So a script is written, but the way you're acting is different. All right. So there's 2 ways of you acting. Either you're going to act in divine or you're going to act in a spiritual, in a demonic way. Example, in this what they call in my script, when I was born, it was written that on 10th January 2025, I will have my breakfast, I will have my lunch, and I have my dinner. It's written. So that is that character, the script has been written. So when the day born on this day, so what happened? So if I am a person who are in a demonic nature, who are distinct, what I will do? Morning, I will go for roti canai. Lunch, maybe I go for nasi kanda. At night, maybe I go for KFC. Right? But once I'm in this divine, I'm in divinity, I'm in this spiritual life. So what I do? So today, I am thinking, okay, today since today's Ekadasi, I choose to fast. Okay, maybe I'll take, because I'm on medication, so I have to take my lunch. So, okay, I take so what I'm going to take? I'm going to eat something which is no grains. I'm going to take some roots, some fruits, and all this without grain. Right? Because the script has written that you're going to eat on 10th January 2025. It's written. But how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? It is our own wisdom. So, the spiritual master, that means the own wisdom. So that means that is prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma that is been written. Once you're born, your prarabdha karma is with you. All right? You have to suffer the consequence of diabetic, hypertension, whatever disease and everything is but prepared. You have to go through. But if a demonic person go through in a miserable way, but a devotee will take it in a very pleasurable way. That's the difference. But when we accept initiation from a spiritual master, our sanchari karma, from the day one that we fall into this material world, all the millions of karma, which is totally impossible. The karma is as big as huge mountain. All nullified. All taken off. Okay. That's why the spiritual master is very important. So what? So after we accept that thing, After we accept that spiritual master, the spirit initiate us, then the second thing what the spiritual master do, he link you to the parampara. You are no longer whatever by birth. All right, by birth, I've got my own kotra, I've got my own kulam. All right, I got my own family lineage, we got our kotra. But today, after we accept that initiation, our things change. All right, formerly my gotra was Kadul Maharishi Gotra. All right, kulam is Manjaputur Ayurvaisir Chettiar. But now, after I've accepted my initiation, my kotra has changed. My kotra became Achyuta Kotra. Achyuta Kotra, because that's a Kotra in the lineage of this Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. Achyuta Kotra. And my Kula is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava. So my everything's changed. So when everything is changed means, so that's it. So the spiritual master will link you to this Parampara, link you to this kind of, this particular family. So what happened once we have taken up this birth here, we give up all our previous thing, right? So now we start to apply this. Okay, like for instance, like now we see that we have this Chong Fok Wing Prabhu, right? Chong Prabhu, okay, he is by birth is Chinese. So when we look at by birth is Chinese, that means by default you don't have Kolam and you don't have Kotra. You don't have Kolam and Kotra, right? So he's the only thing that we know, his surname is Cheong. That's it. But other than that, you don't have Kolam, don't have Kotra. All right. So we don't know from which lineage he came from, who is his parents, what was his forefathers. We don't know, you know, and what are the things they have done and what are the, we don't know all that. But today, Cheong Prabhu have accepted initiation from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. So once you have accepted initiation, that means Cheong Prabhu is no longer from whatever background he is. Today, he is Achyuta Kotra. All right, Achyuta Kotra and Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava. So it's no longer any ordinary Chinese-bodied devotee. So for that reason, we have to worship our spiritual master with full of gratitude. Because without the mercy of spiritual master, we can't even think about going away from this material world. All right. Maybe through the Brahmana, through some austerity, we can even go up to heaven. That's possible. But even if you want to get out of this 14 planetary system, all right, when you look at the planetary system, there's a 14 planetary system, and you go out, and before you leave this place, the eggshell, you know, it looks like a bubble, right? This bubble got 7 layers, 8 layers. First is earth layer. Then you pass through the earth layer, then you go to the water layer. Then you go to the water layer, then you go to the air layer. Then like that, you go. After you finish up all that 5 distinct layer, then you go to the mind layer. Then you go to the intelligent layer. And the last one is false ego layer. So every layer is 10 times bigger. You say the first layer of the universe is say 100,000 miles. The second layer times by, multiply by 100 times bigger. 100 times or 10 times, multiply. And imagine it looks so impossible. After you pass through all that, the last, which is the huge, biggest layer, is your false ego. So once you go there, many people go up to there. They can be triggered. They can be distinct, or just name it. It is just like a military training. They will just give you all trouble. Give you all trouble until you turn back. Hey, who are you to tell me? That's it. You're kicked off from the army. So similarly, once your ego is triggered, you fall down back into this world. It's not easy. All right. When we study about Vedic cosmology, I hope that you all join my Bhagavatam class. It's in chapter 3, Canto 3. If you have a Bhagavatam, please go and read it. You go and read it. It's very, very scary. But this situation can be broken and overcome only by the mercy of the spiritual master. The spiritual master, the pure devotees of the Lord. And all the spiritual masters are always meditating and praying. They are praying and meditating for what? Oh, dear Krishna, I hope all my disciples become a pure devotee of the Lord. Even though we are not ready, but because of the prayer of the spiritual master, Krishna will fulfill his desire. Because Krishna always favors his pure devotees. That is why spiritual master is very, very important. We have to worship them. Then other than that, Arjavam, superior like others, like father and mother, it's very, very important. we should worship our father and mother. Because the father and mother have given us this material body. They have fed us good. They make our body so strong. All right. At the same time, they have educated us. They have teachers like my father, used to say, you fail whatever subject, I don't care, but make sure you don't fail English. And I say, why is that so? Because English will take you far. But his intention was different because his brother has migrated to England and another brother migrated to New Zealand. So he thought that I will migrate to other countries. But today I'm so grateful to him. He made sure that I studied my English very well so that I could understand the purport of Srila Prabhupada. I could understand Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which is translated into English. ISKCON official language is English. So that austerity. So that means because of him, he educated me. Of course, he had his intention, but the education he gave me. And today, where am I benefiting? So like that, if you are sitting here, you understand what I'm speaking, you have to be grateful to your parents. All right, you have to be grateful to your parents. Your parents has given enough education. So for that, they are also worshipable. All right. And then after that, okay, who have to worship? Number 1, the Supreme Lord. Number 2, the Brahmanas. Number 3, the spiritual master. And number 4, the superiors like father, mother, grandfather. All these are worshipable. So you go and get their blessings every day. All right. Now, after this, there's another thing that we have to perform. That is by body. The another thing is we have to maintain the cleanliness of the body. We have to keep our body very clean. Shariram tapa uchata shaucham. Pujanam shaucham arjam. So we have to keep clean because this material body is full of dirt. Can you imagine that we are living in the what they call? In the kingdom of 9 gates. Okay, Navadvaram. 9 gates. So we have our 2 eyes here. We got a 2 nostril. We got the 2 ears, 2 ear hole, and we got a mouth. We got an anus. We got a genital. Total 9. And anything that come out from the whole of your body is very nasty, dirty, and smelly. You just dig your eyes and start to smell. You dig your ears and start to smell. You dig your nose and start to smell. Even the dirt is in your nose. You dig it, then you smell it so nasty and dirty. Even your mouth, what happens if you don't brush your teeth? People can't hear you. They'll faint. When you speak, people will faint. Huh? And imagine if you don't wash your genitals and your anus, what happened? So anything that comes out from this body, so this body is nicely covered by the skin, and we look so good and everything. But anything that emanates, that means everything inside this body, the body is made of what element? Blood, pus, stool, right? And marrow. The body is made of that. So everything is so terrible. When you see a person dies, he becomes so smelly, it's intolerable. All right. So anything that comes out from this body is extremely nasty, extremely abominable, extremely dirty. So that's why cleanliness is very, very important. So first thing we have to brush our teeth upon waking. And after that, we make sure that we always take our bath on a daily basis. Bathing is very important. So what is recommended 3 times a day at least. But of course, now the modern society, we can't do that. At least twice a day. First thing, wake up, bathe. Don't wake up without brushing teeth, go to the kitchen. It's very inauspicious. All right. You have to enter the kitchen after taking your bath and after brushing your teeth. Not simply, I've seen like, I don't mention because one day if he watches the video, I'm going to get it. So that person wakes up in the morning and straight away walks into the kitchen. Okay, it's none other than my mother-in-law, right? She wakes up in the morning because my kitchen is the sacred place where we are cooking prasadam for Krishna. So sometime when she come and stay with us, suddenly I say, where is she? I saw her walking down, and she goes to the kitchen and start to cook breakfast for the grandchildren. She don't even take a bath. She don't even brush her teeth. So that is very inauspicious. So we have to always keep ourselves clean. All right. So when we are supposed to bathe 3 times or minimum 2 times upon waking, and at night after come back from work, we have to immediately take our bath. And secondly is we bathe after we cut our hair. We bathe after we passing stool. We bathe even after we cut our fingernails. So this is very important. Standard cleanliness. Okay. And other than that, another thing that be important is simplicity. So we always must keep our life simple, because if it's not simple, the opposite of simplicity is complicated. All right. That is not grandeur. We say, oh, opposite of simplicity is grandeur. No. Opposite of simplicity is complicated. Your life will be very complicated. But if you live a simple life, right? How beautifully simple life, right? Say like, for instance, you are happy with whatever you have. You got a house, you got a car. That's it. You are very happy with it, right? So now for some sleeping pleasure, you got a nice bed, you got an aircon, and you got a fan. Fair enough, right? Then after that, okay, you're waking up. Okay, you got enough money to buy vegetables. You can cook nicely. You can offer to Krishna. You're eating. Simple. Fair enough. But when we endeavor for something which is beyond this, I got this car. Now I heard that electric car is better. Now I see that China-made electric car comes with a fantastic deal. I go and get committed to that car. Get stuck for the next 9 years, right? Then my house is already very comfortable. No, I want to make my house even better. I want to demolish the place. I want to extend my kitchen. So that means all these things. So simple. So simple. That means just wake up in the morning. You are a simple man. You have so much of peace of mind. You chant your Hare Krishna. I think so most of you are retired here. So retired means don't endeavor for something which is going to be even going to make you attached to things. Just live with whatever you have and keep it simple. In that consciousness, you can easily chant Hare Krishna, you can easily study Bhagavad Gita, and you can understand Bhagavad Gita. If not, okay, but like formerly I was also a financial planner. I have seen one guy, after retirement, he got his big chunk of money from EPF. He renovated his house. The house is crazy renovation. You know, when I went to the house, because when I do Sankirtan, when you go house to house, suddenly I saw this guy. He came out, 2 old people coming out. The house is like a palace. All right. The upstairs, the place, the balcony. My God, he took the corner house. He renovated the house like a palace. And these 2 old people came. He said, can you come to the house and do some prayer? Went to the house. When we sing, we can hear our own echo. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. That's the echo. How come? I mean, are both of you alone? Yeah, we are alone. Then why such a house? No, actually, last time I lived in a small house. I was not happy. After I retire, I got a big chunk of money. Formerly, I was working some oil and gas. I paid so much of money. So what I did, I bought this house and renovated the house and all this. Then what happened? All my children left. They fly away from the nest. Okay, all of them got their own life. Some have moved to KL, some have moved to Pune. So now we 2 old people are sitting and doing scratching our head, don't know what to do. All our money is spent. Everything is this. So now what we can do? So frustrated living in such a huge house. So that's the thing. So simplicity is very important. That's why Prabhupada always say, simple living, higher thinking. All right, live a simple life and your consciousness, you're thinking very high. If not, if you're going to make it complicated, you can never think high, because sometimes when you want to even read Bhagavad Gita, you get very agitated, you'll be very confused. Right? Then another thing is celibacy. Celibacy, are they? Okay, it doesn't fit any of you here because all of you are mostly retired. But let me explain to you. Celibacy means even a person is married, he have to make sure that he control his senses. It is not that suddenly you feel whimsical. No, suddenly you feel like when you look at all the animal will have sex when it's only required. When the time comes for mating, they just mate, that's it. But human are not like that. Whenever they feel cold, whenever there's an environment changes, whenever they come to that what they call their wedding anniversary, whatever anniversary, and all they just need to have some reason to have sex, right? So that is not good, because we must understand the semen, right? An ounce of semen takes I think 2 liters of blood to produce 1 ounce of semen, right? Because that's why brahmacharya is very important, celibacy. Because that's when you look at that the law of Kundalini, right? The Kundalini yoga, the Shakti, the Kundalini is exactly at the anus there, and it travels up. Okay, all the chakras, it travels up and come to this area called the crown chakra on your Sika. On your Kudumi area is a crown chakra. So when we don't simply waste our semen, the semen, the energy of that will start to travel upwards. That's why when you see a person who is celibate, they tend to be very, very strong and powerful. All right? Celibacy, even though you're married, even though you've got a beautiful wife around you, a husband, you have to still maintain your celibacy. It's very important. That's austerity. All right? And the last austerity is non-violence. So we have to be a benefactor of everyone. So we shouldn't perform any kind of violence. Right? So the non-violence, it is like not participating in any kind of violence. We can say the food that I eat, the chicken that I eat is, I didn't kill, someone killed, I just eat only. Yeah, because you create the demand. When you create the demand, you are part of that violence act. All right. Say like, for instance, when the cow is killed, We are just thinking, I just going to eat some steak. That's it. Who cares? I didn't kill the cow. Yeah, fair enough. You didn't kill the cow. But according to the karma, it says that when a cow is killed, 6 people share this karma, equal karma. Number one, the doctor that approves it, the veterinarian. Number two, the fellow the farmer who sells it. Number three, the fellow who transport it. Number four, the fellow who kills it. Number four, that fellow buy and cook. And number six, the fellow who eats it. So all the 6 people will share the same karma. The doctor, the veterinary says, I just approve only, who cares? You know, I didn't do anything. No, still the same karma. And what is the karma of eating beef? Very simple. Every fur in the cow's body, you know, in the cow body got how much fur? Can we count? We can't count. And in that much of situation, a person has to be born and killed. It's terrible. All right. So it's better. So we have to keep our body austere by practicing non-violence. All right. Non-violence means it's not only going to inflict pain on others, but inflict pain on all varieties of living entity. All right. So with that, now let's move on. So now austerity to speech is very important. But now, shall we just take a short break? Now it's 10:29. Shall we just take a short break, if you don't mind?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Okay. Because I need to go and drink. Okay. So just take 1-2 minutes and we come back again. Hare Krishna. Okay. So now I've already spoke about the austerity of the body. All right. Now let's look at the austerity of the speech. If a person can just simply practice this, he's going to create so much of, you're going to create so much of peace in the world. All right. So let's see. Because, okay, now let's look at this word. 17:15. Anutvega karang vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya vyasanam chaiva vanmayang tapa uchyate. Anutvega karam. Anutvega karam is very important. What does it mean? Anutvega karam means not agitating. What is not agitating? Vakyam. Vakyam means the words. No, vakyam. In Tamil also we use the word vakyam, right? Vakyam, the word. And the word must be satyam. Satyam means truthful. At the same time, it has to be priya. Priya means dear. That means it should be pleasurable. Then hitam. Hitam means what? Beneficial. Okay. Hitam. Chayat. Okay. Then swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means on Vedic studies. Abhyasanam. Abhyasanam means practice. Eva. Okay. Then vanmayam of the voice. Tapa uchyate. Austerity of the speech. All right. Now let's look at this. So what is the austerity of the speech? Number one. So austerity of the speech consists of speaking words which are truthful. All right. We have to be truthful. Example. When is the person become is not truthful? Okay, untruthful, right? When the person becomes untruthful, when the person has some kind of intention in the mind. Intention, attachment. All right. So some kind of intention, that means he has something in his mind, he tell a lie, all right, to save someone, to protect someone and everything. But when the person becomes so detached, he got no one to please. All right. So speaking the word. So that's when the speak truthfully. And secondly, the word has to be pleasing. All right. We have to speak in the very pleasing way. At the same time, it also must be beneficial. All right. When the word that I'm going to say, is it going to be benefit others or not? It's beneficial. And of course, the most important part, not agitating to others. Not agitating to others. All right. So the word that shouldn't be agitated. That means we don't say, all right, my word, is it going to agitate others? Going to say something like, so now it's quite common, especially in Facebook and all the social media, the hate speech. All right. This particular race criticizing that particular race. And they are saying, and of course, certain things happen. They say these, in fact, a lot of nonsense things happening. So the word, it shouldn't be agitating to others. At the same time, we also must utilize our speaking at this thing to regularly recite the Vedic literature. So our speech, this thing, we have to use it regularly to recite our Vedic literature and also to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So now, let's look at this. Now let's look at the speech filter. Number one. So when you want to speak, first of all, we must think, is it true? All right. Before we say something, we have to find out, is it true? Yes, it is true. Now, if I'm going to convey the message, will it be pleasing? Will it be pleasing? All right. Yes. Okay. It may or may not be pleasing. And the third filter that we should have to always filter ourselves is it beneficial for me to tell the information? And at last, is it not agitating? Like sometimes we see some people will say, I only speak the truth. All right. I only speak the truth. And simply they find something about certain things. They just go and confront the person. Okay. Confront by telling the truth. But by telling that, that person is not pleased to hear that. All right. And it is never beneficial because certain things are not necessary to even to be speak about. All right. It's not beneficial. And end up the person become agitated. And when the person become agitated, they say, oh, you're agitated. I don't care because I only speak the truth. I don't care. I've got nothing to hide. I only speak the truth. That's not the way. So first of all, we must find out. We have to always have that. We have to always control our speaking ability. So first of all, we have to speak the word which is truth. And we must understand if I'm going to convey the truth to someone, unless you are talking about Bhagavad Gita, you have to speak the truth. All right. And you have to speak in such a way, it's going to be very pleasing, not lambast, not bombard. And by doing that, it has to be beneficial to the devotees who are listening to that. And by the thing, also, I must ensure that they don't get agitated. All right. So other than this, so everything that we do, we have to be very careful. Are we talking the right thing or not? All right. Even this right thing, is it going to, once I convey the message, will it benefit him or not? Will it be beneficial for him or not? Or will it agitate him or not? If all these things is yes, so better don't even speak about it. So by not speaking about it, you are not hiding the truth. You are not wasting your time to think about that matter. All right. So that's the thing that we're talking about on speaking, the austerity of the speech. Then what is the austerity of the mind? Okay, another important verse. Mana prasada saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha bhava shangshuddhir ityetat tapo manasam uchyate. So mana prasada means satisfaction of the mind. Saumyatvam, being without duplicity. That means you are not pretending, no duplicity, all right, towards others. Maunam means it's not by keeping quiet, by being grave. The gravity, all right, the gravity. That means you're very grave. That means you're full of knowledge. When a person's got a lot of knowledge, these are the people who are always grave. Grave means what? That means they're always keeping to themselves and they are so satisfied within. All right. Then Atma. Atma means of the self. Vinigraha. Atma Vinigraha means the self-control. So Bhava means what? On one's nature. Shangshuddhir. So Shangshuddhir means Shamshuddhi is purification. Purification. Then Tapa means austerity. What austerity? Manasa austerity. That means the austerity of the mind. So now let's look at the verse here. And satisfaction, simplicity. First, a person has to be satisfied. Then simplicity. He don't complicate his mind thinking a lot of other things. Simplicity. Gravity. That means he's very grave. He's very grave because he's got a lot of knowledge. Self-control and purification of one's existence are the austerity of the mind. So purification of one's existence means what? So see, I born into so-and-so family, and I know my family is not a very highly elevated or great family, right? Because I'm busy. So since I'm born into that family, right? So now I cannot remain to be in that kind of environment. So I have to purify my existence. So purify my existence. So what is the cause of trouble? Indriya, all the five senses. And who controls the Indriya? The mind controls the Indriya. The mind controls all the senses. And what gives information to the mind? The intelligence gives thing. So that means I know I have to purify my existence in this material world. So how I can purify myself? First step, by purifying my intelligence. So the purification of intelligence comes by reading the Bhagavad Gita. Then after that, I want to purify my mind. The purification of the mind comes by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Right? So once the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is all these things become purified. Okay. So, so all the purification, so once the person is purified, then what happened? So once everything, your mind is no longer agitated, your intelligence is no longer confused, then you come to the level of self-control, right? So now let's go backward, right? So now, so from the purification of existence, okay, now you go to the self-control. Once you're already under self-control, then you'll be very grave, all right? You'll be gravity, you'll be very grave. So once you're very grave, you know the truth and everything, you do not complicate yourself, you come to the level of simplicity. You start to live a life or simple, you think simple, right? You don't need to complicate myself. Very simple. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. That's the most sublime and simplest word that ever Srila Prabhupada have ever created. When you look, chant Hare Krishna and be happy, the entire Veda summarized in Shruti in just 2 words. Chant and be happy. Isn't that simple? Simplicity. Then by doing that, you achieve great satisfaction. Right? So like that. Okay. So that's a purification of the mind. So, and what is that austerity? Okay, how to perform austerity? Number 1, 17 to 19 is mentioned. Austerity in the mode of goodness is transcendental faith. You do with so much of faith, not expecting material benefit. You just do this without expecting what, for the sake of pleasing the Supreme. All right. The second thing is passion. So you do out of pride for gaining respect and honor and worship. Number 3 is ignorance. That means perform out of foolishness. So this foolishness creates self-torture, destroy or injure others. All right. Sometimes you see some people who like self-torture and say like crazy, like, you know, they do this kind of like festival, right? They poke here, poke there, poke all over the body. They self-torture. At the same time, they also destroy and also injure others, right? So this is the mode of ignorance. So what is charity? Very important. Charity means in the goodness. Okay, what is a charity in the mode of goodness? It has to be given dutifully. Okay, this is my duty and I am giving this charity, right? Because I have gained something from that person. I'm giving something back out of dutiful, out of duty. Number 2, not expectation any return. So when I give, I don't expect any return from them. At proper time, place, given at the proper time, at the proper place. And of course, to the worthy person. Some say, you know, oh, I give money to the beggar, I go do this kind of charity, oh, God will bless me. No, it's not that. In 20 to 22, Krishna says very clearly, the charity, whatever, it has to be given to the worthy person. All right. So what happens if you don't do that? Okay, if the charity in the mode of passion, we give with expectation of return. Now I give you this, what are you going to give me? Like bribery, right? With desire for fruits, all right? With expecting something back. And of course, in a grudging mood. Hey, yeah, you Hare Krishna fellas, always money, take and go. Grudging. These are too much. They all don't work and always come grudging. It's a mode of passion, charity, the mode of passion. And what is mode of ignorance? You do it at an impure place, all right? Sometimes in the bar, you see at night, people are drinking and everything. Suddenly one beggar will come, take and go. Oh, you want beer? Come, I buy for you one. So that's kind of charity, is the mode of ignorance, right? At an impure place, at improper time, to the unworthy person, like beggars, like drunkards, right? To the unworthy person, okay? And of course, without proper attention and respect, they just say, you want money? Yeah, just take and throw. They just throw the money, take, you know, this kind of thing, the charity in the mode of ignorance. Okay, now 1723. So 1723, Krishna mentioned here, Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho brahmanastri vidas smrta brahmanastena vedascha yaknascha vihita pura. So from the beginning of creation, the 3 words Om Tat Sat were used. Okay, in the beginning of creation, Krishna says, Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. So Om Tat Sat means supreme absolute truth. Okay, these 3 symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas. So they use this word while they're chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Say like, for instance, when they do all these things, when they conclude, all right, when they conclude, I think you also can see in that, in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada will be telling, I think, is it here or in this introduction, preface? Okay, the publisher, just give me a second, preface, right? Oh, it's not here. I think it's in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think. Right? So you'll be trying. Originally, I wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is and everything. So at the end, you will say Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. So whenever they do the yajna, the prayers, end of the day, they conclude with this word Om Tat Sat. Right? So for the satisfaction of the Supreme, Om Tat Sat, what we understand, indicates supreme absolute truth. So 23, 26 is a mention about this mantra. Om Tat Sat are the word taken from the Vedic hymns indicating the absolute truth. All right. So absolute Lord Krishna. So what does that mean? So what is Om means? Om means Om iti etat brahmano nedistam nama. Tat means Tat Tvam Asi. Chandogya Upanishad. Sat means Sat Eva Saumya. Chandogya Upanishad 6:22. Right. So now let's look at that. Om means transcendental undertaking performance of sacrifice. That means when we are taking up sacrifice, charity appendance in accordance with the scriptural regulation. Always begin with Om. That means Om means to attain the supreme. So when we chant the mantra Om Krishnaya Namaha, Om. Okay, Nama Om. Vishnu Padaya. So Om means is a transcendental undertaking. That means you're starting that. You see all the mantras Om Namah Shivaya, Om Kam Ganapadaye Namaha, all start with the word Om. Om means starting to take undertaking. That means you're starting to perform sacrifice, chanting, and everything. But all these, the aim is to attain the supreme. Tat. Tat means without desiring fruitive result. That means I want to attain the supreme without expecting fruitive result. So one should perform various kind of sacrifice, penance, and with the word Tat. And Sat means absolute truth. That means is the objective of devotional service. And is indicated by the word Sat. All right? It's mentioned 23 to 26. All right? So the penance, sacrifice, charity, and foods when aimed at the supreme, Om Tat Sat. The supreme personality of Godhead, they become means of for spiritual elevation. So austerity aimed at the supreme, number one is fasting on Ekadasi and Janmashtami. So today is Ekadasi. I hope you all are fasting. If you think you can't fast, you can just take fruits. All right. Who are the people who are must fast? Those who are between 8 years old to 80 years old. Those who are in between 8 to 80 are required to fast. Those who are less than 8, above 80, fasting Ekadasi is not required. Okay. At the same time, those who are diseased, those who are in taking medication, those who are hospitalized, or those who are about to die. So these are the people who are not necessary to fast on Ekadasi. So other than that, every able person should fast. So that's the austerity, all right, on this kind of day. So you just maintain our fruit diet. So sacrifice aim at the supreme. So what is that? Another sacrifice aim at the supreme? Sankirtan Yagya. So Sankirtan Yagya means in Kali Yuga, the sacrifice is to chant the holy name, Sankirtan. Krite yat dhyayato Vishnum, Tritayam yajato makai, Dwapare paricharyayam, Kalautadari kirtanat. Whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditation on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifice, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord, the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga. You know, all the things can obtain in Kali Yuga, all the things that done in 3 yugas. By what? Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Kalautat Dari Kirtanat. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, all the result that is been given by all the previous yugas can easily be attained. Right? So, another thing that charity that you can aim for criticism, help to propagate Krishna consciousness by donating money for book distribution, building Krishna temple, and also prasadam distribution. All right, it's also very important. All right, and food offered to the Krishna also is also this thing. Aim at the food, all the food that you, whatever you feel like eating, make sure no onion, no garlic, no egg, no patai, no durian, and all these things. So other than that, everything made nicely and offered to Krishna and take it as Mahaprasadam. And Mahaprasadam is actually the mercy of the Lord. All right. So with that, so we end the session here. So take the commitment RDC formula, read Bhagavad Gita daily, because the Bhagavad Gita is like an ocean. Some of you have been attending my class from batch 1 till today, batch 5. And I hope that, in fact, I am learning something. Whenever I read this, hey, I've read this before, but now I understand differently. Right? So that's the thing. Reading Bhagavad Gita is like an ocean. There's no depth. Don't say, I've already done my Bhagavad Gita. I don't need to read. No, you make it a habit every day, because Krishna reveals. Okay, according to the time. Then, of course, distribute Bhagavad Gita is very important. Go and install Bhagavad Gita in everyone's heart, everyone's house. You can make a huge difference in their life. And of course, at last, for your own nourishment and your own relishment and for your own liberation, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is very important. If you have not started chanting, if you find it very hard, just do it. When the tough get going, when the going get tough, the tough get going. You know, that's one song, right? So when the thing is hard, just push yourself through it. Okay, one round, so tough, never mind, go for second, tough, third, fourth, until the thing will break. 1 to 4, 5 rounds, the thing will break. Then you start to see smooth sailing. And make it a habit on a daily basis, right? Just like every day we need to exercise to keep our body healthy. Likewise, we also have to chant every day to keep our spiritual life very, very healthy, because the mind is very tricky. The mind can simply trick you, right? The trick of the mind is very dangerous, right? So in order to protect yourself against all these, chant Hare Krishna daily, minimum 16 rounds, all right? So with that, we end the session. Now we open for questions. Is there any questions or any comment? I hope you like the class, and I hope I presented in a very pleasing way, not agitating anyone. All right. So today is Ekadasi, and we have just completed chapter 17. And tonight we meet at 7:30 p.m. to discuss on chapter 18. Chapter 18 is a very long chapter. Usually we break the chapter into 2, but today we're going to present it in one go, right? It may take a slightly more than 2 hours, all right? 7:30, 9:30, we try to finish by 10 o'clock, right? It's going to be this, and since it's going to be the last chapter, so don't miss it. And of course, this is going to be also the last Gita Gyan program, because after this, for the next 1 or 2 years, God willing, I'm going to start to go into detailed studies of all the other sastras, right? So I might or may not be doing Gita Gyan again. So, okay. So take the opportunity to come and attend our chapter 8. Okay. So is there any questions or any comment? All good?
Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much, Prabhu. Thank you
you.
very, very much, Prabhu.
My
I
pleasure.
like
Mataji.
your classes very much. If you are not going to have any more classes, we miss you a lot, Prabhu.
No. It's not, I'm not going to do class. I'm going to go into other studies. Like for instance, starting from, I think the last week of January or mid of January, we're going to start from a book called, what they call Nectar of Instruction. Then after that, we're going to go into Ishopanishad. Then after that, slowly we're going to go into Nectar of Devotion. Then we're going to go into this Bhagavad Gita. That means we're going to read like every verse, right? Then after that, we're going to go into Srimad Bhagavatam. So once and for all, you know, once and for all, let's do this. So every day, I'm planning every day, Monday to Friday, we're going to go through this program. So we're going to speak about it on a daily basis. That means that I won't be doing Gita again, but I'm going to go into the real Shastra study. Okay, I try to summarize it, and it's just going to be like a discussion. It's not, I'm going to stop. I'm going to do it because I love doing this so much, right? So it's going to be Monday to Friday, morning 9 to 11. And many people ask, can you do it in the evening? Because evening I need to look after my business, my rice bowl. So for that reason, the only conducive moment is in the morning. Okay, Mataji, Saras Mataji, don't worry. I'm not going to stop. Until Krishna give me energy, Krishna inspires, just go for it. Okay. So thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, Prabhu.
My pleasure, Mataji. Thank you.
And Krishna will be always with you.
With all of us, Mataji, even with you. With all of us, Krishna is there. All right. So, okay, Hare Krishna, Chiang Prabhu, Chaitanya Dayadas Prabhu, and Hare Krishna, Karapir Saraswati Mataji, and Saras Karpan Mataji, and Skanda Prabhu. Thank you so much. We'll meet again tonight at 7:30. Vancha kalpatrubhascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavenebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful Ekadasi day. Hari Bol.